Hello, everyone. Welcome back to tonight's Mates of Fate session, Artema campaign. Not to be confused with Songs of Creation campaign, which we also do.
Another campaign that's doing something tonight.
Yeah. Wait, what's it doing tonight?
There's some other D&D campaign.
Guys.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. It has like no viewers, so it's.
MB's in the house. I'm so all right now. Now my night is complete.
Unstood Bear, there he is. All right. So before we begin, disclaimer. Or is it called a disclaimer? Or is it just a plug? Tonight's audio brought to you by Syrinscape. Are you in need of audio for your tabletop RPG needs? Use Syrinscape. It's Syrinscape.com, and it's pretty swell. But seriously, it has lots of great kind of like, hundreds of effects and music and everything you could use for your campaigns. Lots of sound effects, ambiance and music, all things like that. It also has a sad trombone, which is literally my favorite part about it. And then there's one other thing. So this.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't trigger the sad trombone.
Sad trombone. Let's try it out. So everybody wants to hear the sad trombone.
Yeah, you got it.
So there needs to be a proper reason for it, right? I guess not.
That's me after all of my dice rolls tonight.
It's pure art. So anyhow, not to plug myself, but it was my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday!
Yay!
Thanks.
You can plug yourself all you want.
Yeah, I turned 24. And here is, I got a birthday card from Ash. I'm gonna open it up on the stream.
I'm so excited. I'm
excited
so glad.
to see what it is.
Me
Everywhere.
too.
Glitter.
Here's the envelope. Don't need that. That's gonna go right down there.
Yeah.
And there's something on the back, but I'm gonna look at the card first because that's the polite thing
You're
to do.
a gentleman.
That's what I teach my.
It's not.
Oh, we
It's
can't
not
hear
picking
it.
up. It's not picking up. Oh man. Nope.
Man, get your gain up.
Nothing.
No.
No.
I'm so sad.
No.
What's
Whistle.
What's it sound like, Mike?
Hold on. Can I turn off CRISPR easily?
Yep.
How does CRISPR get turned off easily?
It doesn't. Just sing it. Sing along.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. There we go. Got it.
Interpretive dance.
There it is. It's mariachi birthday music because I know how much you love. Maybe that. Great.
It
There
says,
is.
Oh, we got it.
"Happy birthday
Forever.
forever."
Because guess what? The music doesn't shut off.
I was gonna say, why is it still going?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't. You
You
literally
shouldn't have
cannot
told him.
shut it off.
You shouldn't have told him.
It's just like that forever now.
It's still going, and
It
the
will
card's
go.
closed.
It will keep
Oh my
going.
gosh.
You gotta get a hammer. Even water won't stop it.
Oh god.
Fortunately, you got
Just-
crisp, so we can't hear it. Just try and deal around it.
What are we... Ash, I really hope
What
that
am
you
I supposed to do with this?
You need to rip it open and puncture the speaker.
Maybe you could do that. Maybe
I'm
you
gonna
could ruin my birthday card. If you don't love me, you could rip it open, I guess.
I'm gonna go
really
pawn
hope you
it
bought-
off on my wife.
I hope you bought like 12 of those, and then we're just gonna like lay them in his house somewhere.
Did he leave with his headset on?
I think so.
Okay.
Can't talk about
Because
them.
if he tries to open it, it's full of glitter.
Like, where did you get this thing?
I'll have to plug them because that worked a treat. It was jokergreetings.com. They are not sponsoring us. It was just fucking funny.
That's
Oh god, I can still hear it.
All right.
you didn't want it.
I don't know what to do.
Like your neighbors, like, cause you could always put it by one of their windows.
Don't throw it in the trash can of a neighbor you dislike.
Oh, I thought it stopped. God
No,
damn it.
it will not.
You can rip the battery out.
Just sit on it.
Oh god, it's got like really prominent.
What the fuck?
I didn't think it was gonna do it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
I didn't know that was a thing. That was genuine advice. Sorry.
Oh.
All right, so now that you've done it, you can definitely just pull the battery out.
There was glitter inside it.
I love you. Happy birthday.
Oh no! How's that new keyboard you got, Mike?
Oh,
It's shiny.
no. Oh.
Oh
Well-
God!
Full disclosure, I did text his wife and I was like, I wanted to get this for Mike, but I respect you too much. And she was like, no, LOL, do it.
She loves me, I think.
So Ash, I didn't know you were ready for your backup character already.
Oh no. I should have done it after the stream was over.
And a really cool
So-
Critical Role gift card.
you're not mad at me
Thank you.
anymore, right?
Playing the
Thank
code
you.
to it.
Wow.
Oh, cover the QR.
Oh no, our 3 viewers didn't get to it first.
We're up to
See,
5.
We're up to 5. Oh my
Wow.
god.
Anyway, so if you want to torture your friends, jokergreetings.com.
Oh my God!
Sam Regal level ad there, kind of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great.
Love you.
All right.
Please don't
Glad-
please don't kill Triskana.
All right. Glad everyone got to see that. That was cool. Thank you.
Thank you for doing it on the stream.
Yeah, of course.
Immortalized forever.
All right. So, everybody ready to dive into the world of Artema?
Let's do it.
Good. All right. So, quick, really fast recap from last session. You guys are all on the island that has the lighthouse that was used for basically as a touch point of the smuggling operation for the for Admiral Randall and any gold boots who are associated with him. On this island, obviously, you kind of not crash landed, you shipwrecked on this island and made your way over towards the lighthouse where you actually emerged out of the forest in the middle of what looked like basically a battle between what looked like some ethereal fey creatures and the Suma pirates, who are, again, not an offshoot, kind of, the sister race of the Astra race. Battle ensued. Lots of people died. You guys got yourselves a sweet ass ship that has not yet been named. No rush on that because it's being fixed and it's going to take a few days. So you guys assumed the ship for yourself. You spent some time on there. You rested. The next day, you decided to make your way back towards the island as the ship is being repaired and explore the lighthouse, where at the lighthouse, you came across a few things. There was a caretaker's quarters there, where you didn't really find too much, but you did find a book titled Ruminations on Fae, Philosophical Theory on Elven and Astra Ancestry. At the top floor, you saw what looked like the flame burning, right? That is the illumination for the lighthouse. And on the ground there, you find a remnant of a pale blue silk garment. Then everybody went kind of down below towards the lower levels. You reached a cellar where you're able to determine that there's actually kind of like a trap door through which everybody climbed down through to a secret storage hold where these barrels, crates that the smuggling operation used, looks like they stored a lot of their smuggled goods here. Several of you were able to find a sigil, and it teleported you to what looked like an underground cavern. A few of you had a little bit of a difficult time figuring out how exactly to use this sigil for your own purpose, but eventually, I believe it was Triskana it was Rowan asked your friend to help. I think it was Zeph and Holfi, I believe. Basically, the sigil had to be activated with some sort of fey magic. So you guys now all find yourselves in these kind of really dark, dank caverns. You emerge. You find yourself after being teleported by the sigil. Let me pull up the map for you.
Oh God, that's right. Triskana sees dead people.
No, I'm normal. Rowan sees dead people.
That's right.
Somebody.
There you go. So that is, you guys can place your tokens wherever you'd like within there. I'd say you're generally kind of in the center of that exposed area of the map. Around you is rather really dark cavern, very damp. It is almost entirely dark here, so really kind of only people with dark vision would be able to see, unless anybody has any sort of artificial illumination that you wanted to get going. Around you, you see some stalagmites or stalactites. Which one goes from the ground up?
Stalagmites.
There you go.
C for ceiling.
Yep, stalagmites and stalactites. You know what? Fuck it. Let's get crazy. There's also stalactites coming down.
It's on now. Holy shit.
Yep. You do notice.
Tight, hang on tight for the ceiling.
Yeah, I hit my head on one of them.
Yep.
Ooh.
And around you, you do see it looks like there's kind of some what looks like crumbling humanoid-made structures. You see a few towers, some walls. So it looks like this was, built by some sort of people,
Cool.
probably a long time ago.
Can we please have some help with the token placement? It doesn't.
Yeah, you have to drop the characters into the combat tracker and then drag them from the combat tracker in.
Yeah, also, I'm having trouble logging on. I feel like I'm good for like 3 months, and then Fantasy Grounds is like, no, actually.
I was having the same issue. Mike posted the alias in the chat.
Okay.
Wolfie, Triscana, Rowan, Falsina. The only person I'm missing. Who am I missing? Zeph. Zeph doesn't have a.
Oh.
You don't have a token in here for some reason, Zeph.
I'll move you.
Your
Zeph.
IP has changed. Rude.
Oh, that's right, because you don't have Fantasy Grounds in the first place. All right, everybody's in the combat tracker, so you should be able to place your tokens where you want.
Could you
In
please
30 seconds,
You
I'll
have
load it in.
to drag our tokens on, then we can drag them, I think. Sorry.
That's all right. So I'll pull them over. There's no image either. It's weird. Rowan.
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. It lost our
Star images. Rude.
I'm probably hiding close to Triscana's ankles.
Oh.
Okay.
Hover
There you go.
over.
Can you guys move yourselves around?
Yes, now we can.
You might want to upload a picture of yourself, maybe. I don't know, it might make it easier, but
Yeah. We used to have them.
Trying.
Yeah. Are we the Lighthouse Basement? Is that our map name?
What's that? Here, I'll push it to you.
Thanks.
There you go. And Zeph, I will put your token out there as a Z.
Sure.
There you go. Wherever you are.
Maybe a picture.
There I am.
If Ash wants to control it or whatever.
Yes.
All right.
Do
let's
my
get some-
bidding.
Let's get that beautiful, beautiful Syrinscape sound going.
Oh,
There we go.
I'm gonna move.
it's really gonna kick our game up to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So what do you guys do?
So are we all down here now?
You are all down here. You've all emerged into these caverns after being teleported through the sigil.
Does anybody have dark vision?
I do.
Great. Zeph, where should we go?
I can't see the map, so I don't.
Oh, sorry. It's
Oh, yeah.
streaming.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Oh,
it
yeah.
now.
Zoom and enhance.
Yeah, I still can barely decipher anything.
I'll give you a little bit more so you can actually discern kind of what's going on here.
This is about what I could say.
Those stalagmites look happy to see us.
There you go. That might help a little bit.
Okay.
Go forward? Do we go forward? Is there a forward?
Left or right, I guess.
Should we do some breadcrumbs or something? Do you think we need to come back to
Or that draws rats.
I have an excellent sense of direction. I'm sure it's fine.
Well, I guess we can. Is everyone okay for at first? Like, everyone arrived safely?
I'm happy to be here.
You know, while I
Okay.
watch all that.
A little dizzy, but it's fine.
I guess let's go this way. I guess I'll head off to the right. Map right from where we are, I guess.
That way.
And you're leading. So as you your first foray into this cavernous depth. You notice in front of you, Zeph, what looks like a kind of mound of exposed rock with a kind of man-made little bit of a tunnel leading into it.
There's a tunnel here.
Can you? Oh wait, hang on. And I like run my finger or my hand along my fingers, and I light up my fingertips and just cast light, so I can see
Oh,
as well
thank
as.
God.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah. Now I can see as well as Zeph and Rowan can.
And I can see better.
And what are you doing with that light?
I'm shining it towards the hole that we're looking at.
Okay. Are you approaching the hole with your finger to get a better view in there?
Yeah, I will get about 10 feet away and kind of like shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it's like a 20-foot radius on the light, so.
Yeah. So you actually notice as you shine this light, this tunnel, what you thought was a tunnel, actually isn't really a tunnel. It's just a little, I don't know, crevasse inside this mound. And it kind of just dead ends about 10 feet in. Your light that you're emitting from your finger, it looks like it's faintly glimmering off a few stones in the rear of the mound.
The rear of the mound, like I'm
Inside.
like inside this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
inside it.
I am immediately
looks-
drawn to it.
It looks to you like it is maybe some sort of like excavation hole or something.
I go in the hole.
A quarry hole, if you will.
I have to know what it is.
You immediately, you get down on your knees and your hands, and you crawl your way inside. And again, it doesn't go that far. It's only about 10 feet deep, and you're just met with a wall of kind of exposed rock stacked on top of each other. The light from the light from the fire, from the flame emanating from your finger, glints off some smaller stones wedged a little further back in the wall.
Who's got a hammer? I need it.
That's a good idea.
I want
This-
I might have a hammer.
Do we really want to risk the
Yeah, do we won't let this collapse?
integrity of this mountain? I don't know what this is. Tunnel.
I have a crowbar.
Can I borrow it, please? These might be like, spell components.
I mean, I have a pickaxe, but I don't know if I want you to use it.
Oh, please. I'll be so careful.
Fine.
Thank you. I borrow Rowan's pickaxe and I very gently try and tink, tink, tink. Just
Okay.
chip away at it a little bit.
So how about we say you do a... Can you please make... Oh gosh, what would that be? A sleight of hand check. As you try to carefully pick away at the rocks to get to what is glimmering.
7.
Okay. So your pickaxe, you dig it in there and you dink, 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 as you're trying to find the right spot so as not to collapse the wall. Unfortunately, you hit a certain rock just wrong that maybe was a rock that was supporting too much weight, and suddenly you start to hear rocks rubbing against each other as they come tumbling down on top of you.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you take 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
Who could have seen this coming? Why did no one warn me this could happen?
What's that hitting me on the head? Is it the consequences of my actions?
Oh,
I
Again?
love
No.
you immediately get pelted with a bunch of shining, glittery rocks.
Yeah.
Start
Love it.
looking.
How much damage?
2 damage as these rocks come tumbling down. Few hit you in the side of the head, behind the ear, and that especially hurts because there's a lot of nerves back there. You're still inside here. You got a few rocks on top of you. Not sure how you're gonna get out from under those.
I'm just gonna use my muscle. No, I'll use somebody else's muscle. Oh no, I'm gonna die.
Oh
here.
no. None of us. Do you want me to turn into like a giant badger or something?
I can do it. Oh god, I can do it. Try not to get claustrophobic, and I start trying to like shove my way out. Are any of the stones on top of me glittery though?
Do an investigation check as I assume you lost your flame. Did you have to maintain concentration?
Oh, great question. Great question.
Yeah, it's like concentration.
No, I rubbed some stuff on me, so it's just gonna keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So you do notice a few stones, but these rocks that fell on you are pretty heavy. You can't quite get out from under them unless you want to do a strength check or if someone else wants to help you.
I
I'll assist.
Thank you.
helping try to lift the rocks off.
Okay,
Thanks,
so-
you guys.
So Rowan, and Valsina, go ahead and do your strength checks for me.
I'll guide myself.
I have a 14.
I have a.
Minus, did you take off your negative for being?
I rolled a 15.
All right.
All right, I got a 19.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it
Really
was
good for
pretty
me?
easy anyhow. For you guys, you're not under the rocks. You're just looking at Triskana as she's kind of squirming beneath them. So you pull these rocks off of Triskana, and as you do so, you find scattered amongst these rocks several gems, basically.
Oh, heck
Oh,
yeah.
thanks,
All on
guys.
this
Thanks, guys.
table.
What do we got?
Let's see. One sec. We just had it.
The reason why I was moving.
Oh, we can
Let
totally
me
use
help
these for
you.
magic.
Oh, here we go.
Shiny one.
That one.
Shiny one.
So you're getting all the small but very shiny rocks. It's like, yeah, the big one, get it off.
You find one coral worth 100 gold.
Coral!
One.
Are you kidding me? There it is.
It's coral! It's always
Yeah,
fucking
right.
coral!
Where's Coral?
One jade worth 100 gold.
Yay.
And what is that? One blue sapphire worth 1,000
Ooh.
gold.
Miss 100%
That is
of the
that is
shots
going
you'll
to be
take.
really useful. Who wants to hold on to those?
Mansoor Bear says glitter from real life translated into the game. He's right.
Should we
Didn't see that
separate ones just in
Prosperous.
case somebody gets pickpocketed or whatever? In a tunnel that's abandoned?
Hey, finders keepers.
Yeah, but wait.
We were lifting rocks.
We dug you out. Didn't we find them?
That's fair. Can I have at least one, please?
Valsina, let's put her back in the hole.
Oh. Sorry.
All right, who wants what?
Can I have the jade?
I don't need anything.
I guess I'll hold on to the sapphire, but like I'm not calling dibs on it. I just don't trust you guys not to lose it. Actually, no. Rowan's probably also pretty good at not losing things.
She's also
I'm
pretty good at keeping things. Like other
Anything.
people's boats.
I mean,
Well, she wasn't keeping them; she was selling them.
You guys hear that? Is that water?
Oh God.
I mean, we're on an island. Actually, I don't know where we are.
would I know the history
On
of
Rhode Island.
the history of the tunnels, of why these are here?
Library.
At this point, you're not sure. All you know is that you were teleported here via that sigil from the lighthouse.
Well, I guess we can go back the other way.
Seems like this is a dead end.
Okay.
Can I have my pickaxe back?
Yeah, thank you. Can I have the sapphire?
No.
Okay.
Just put it in the pouch that's like right by I keep at the top.
Yeah.
Stare at you.
I'm not gonna steal it. Sometimes spell components are hard to come by.
Hmm. Well, I'll hold on to it until then.
Okay. Okay, I will follow Zeph. You want to go left this time?
I guess we'll go the opposite direction.
Okay. So you make your way left from this little quarry cave that you saw. In front of you, you see just more stalagmites, stalactites. You see what looks like a tunnel that leads kind of north. Sorry, guys. Oops, I just lost it. Where is the tunnel that leads you can see it directly there, kind of directly west, and a path that leads, a corridor that leads basically northwest, I would say. There we go.
Well, do we check out the tunnel or do we head northwest? The corridor.
I still have a good feeling about tunnels.
I can't see much of anything.
And do you have your flame going, Triskana?
Yeah, I still have.
Well,
My
yeah,
fingers
okay,
are
yeah.
illuminated. They're kind of glowing.
Okay.
Oh, thank
Yep.
you. That's much better.
Is there a way that's more dry?
It's damp here. You're not standing in pools of water, despite the terrific Syrinscape sounds, but it's damp in here. Maybe off in the distance you kind of hear some dripping water, but it's simply damp. You're not standing in a pool of water or anything. It's mainly rocky ground.
Flip a coin if nobody's sure which way to go.
Sure.
Do you want to do the honors, Sophie?
Oh,
Can I tell if any of them are heading up or down? Or
The general slope, you mean?
yeah, of any of these tunnels.
It seems from your perspective, you can't see that far because I think the light is only giving about 20 feet. But it
Yeah,
seems
and I don't
pretty
have dark vision.
Yeah, it seems pretty flat.
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Evens, heads, evens. We'll go corridor. Tails, odd. We go the tunnel. 2. So, corridor.
Or we can split up the party.
Oh
Always
yeah,
split
let's
the
do that.
party.
Let's do that. Actually, I like
What
that
could
one.
go wrong?
All the ones you can't see.
We'll put all the healers / people that don't have dark vision go one way. Everyone
Yep.
else goes the other way.
Yeah, all
It'll be
the
fun.
squishy ones go the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Well, the corridor it is. Let's go.
All right.
Is that left or up?
That is northwest, kind of.
Okay.
Up.
All right.
There you go.
Follow
Yep.
Zeph and kind of light the way for my fellow non-dark visionies.
Okay.
What about the tunnel, though? It's gonna burn me.
I know.
Come back. We can come back.
What if
It
there's
is
more
gonna
gems?
burn you.
There's more gems. There probably is more gems.
And you could.
Should we check out the tunnel first? Just fuck the dice. Just kidding.
I mean,
Going against
we
the
want
dice
to do
might
a
actually
get rich quick scheme, like.
going against the dice might actually be our downfall. So let's continue in this way, I guess.
Okay.
Lies.
So as you approach the tunnel, you kind of pass your 2 kind of towers to your left and right, kind of maybe 15-foot walls to either side of you. Sturdily constructed walls seem to have, despite the state of this place, have kind of held up pretty well over the years. Seems like it's good construction. Ahead of you, the corridor kind of continues and gets absorbed into blackness.
I'll walk forward a bit. Try and,
Yeah, just-
try and see more.
Yeah, we won't go any faster than our light, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're walking past. How's the terrain seem?
The terrain is kind of uneven at this point. It looks like the ground below you was once maybe cobblestone or some sort of paved path. But over time, whatever happened to this place seems like ground is kind of pushed up, perhaps tectonic plates pushing against each other, that sort of thing. But there are hills basically that you have to navigate your way.
Okay.
How old does this place seem?
Yeah, wait. Do you think this is a volcanic island?
It is now.
Where did that mountain go?
Where's my notebook?
Oh,
Yeah, we to find out.
Yeah. So do a. Who asked that? Was that you,
Yeah,
Melsina? Or was
Yeah,
that
if
just
this was.
I want to know
volcanic.
how old this place is. She wants to know
See-
if it's volcanic.
So, all right, let's start with Triscana. So, Triscana, you want just do a kind of a perception check, general perception check.
11.
It's old.
Ah,
You're not really
I
able to
thought so.
discern how old,
Yes.
but old.
It's old.
Now, Cindy's been replaced by Cat Hole.
Yes. Oh god, I'm wild shaped again.
Yeah, Tyralia said this place was ancient, so I think it's.
What's their name?
Hmm?
Your friend's name. What is it?
Tyralia.
Pyralia. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Are they with us right now?
I don't think so. But anyways, this way, right? Go straight. We're going straight. Okay.
Real quick, Valsina, go ahead and do a nature check if you're actually asking about the
Yeah, no, I am.
volcanism of the island. Yeah. So
That
you're
one, baby.
that one, yeah. So you're walking down this corridor, just kind of following the rest of the party, just not really conversing. You're just kind of in your own thoughts, and you're like, I wonder if this island's volcanic. I have no idea.
I don't know anything about volcanoes.
Yeah.
Trike's like, it's old. And Valsina's like, it's dark. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
does,
right.
feel warm. It probably just feels like we're in a cave, right?
It's definitely warm in here, but it might just be because it's caverns, kind of that basement-y,
dang.
warm feel. Yeah.
Probably thinking about the time you had really hot soup in like a bread bowl and it spilled over. You're like, volcanoes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna climb over this thing and then around this thing, and now what can we see?
All right.
Okay, second
Yeah.
question. If it's not volcanic, is there a giant dragon sleeping under here heating it?
I would also like to know the answer to that question, please.
You can try to listen for any sounds if you want.
Yeah, can I listen for dragon sounds?
Yeah.
Whatever
So
I think those might be.
I'll say Triscana, with your perception check, you didn't really hear anything. Valsina, go and do a perception check as you wonder to yourself, I wonder if I hear anything weird.
11. Plus
Sounds like a
Oh, plus?
15. 15.
Hey.
so 15, yeah. You don't really catch much else. You don't really hear much.
No
It just kind of
dragon
sounds like
sounds.
no
Always wanted to
low
see
rumbling.
one.
Yeah. You make your way forward, and the corridor that you are making your way down opens into what looks like a kind of a much larger room. If the ceilings are vaulted, they're unvisibly vaulted. They rise well above you, and you can't see the end of them. Again, walls here about 15 feet high, and in front of you, you can kind of barely make out what looks like maybe some sort of a large statue perched atop a podium of some sort.
These people knew how to build. I don't have to duck here. This is great.
Ooh, I gotta see the statue. What's the statue look like?
Your voices echo through this cavern as you move forward to get a better view of the statue.
Ooh.
It is. One sec. Well, it looks like some sort of ancient royal figure. A man,
A
perhaps
plan.
elven of some sort in some way.
Give me the lore.
On the podium on which he is standing, kind of just wraps around various kind of inscriptions written in a ancient writing that looks familiar. However, you don't know what it says, except for one plaque. Who understands Elven?
I do. A few of
I
us
do.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. You see kind of written on a plaque there what looks like an ancient Elven inscription. It says, King Rindria al-Oti, who bound our people together and delivered us from darkness, in whom resides all knowledge.
I'm gonna take out a parchment and make an etching of that,
Okay.
so I don't forget it.
So you press that parchment up against the statue.
Yeah, and I'll kind of like do a rubbing.
Mm-hmm. Zeph, Valsina, Holfi, Rowan, I need you to put your audio on mute. As Triscana, you see Triscana's eyes suddenly go completely.
Is there going to be a hand signal for when we should
completely
undeafen?
Okay.
Good call. I'll give a double thumbs up.
Got it.
I'm getting my first campaign whisper. I'm so excited.
Oh my god. Oh, we should have just made a second voice channel and just hopped over there. Okay.
Or you could do that. Whatever.
No,
if
that's
you
going to
wanna do
mess
that.
up the screens.
Just take half a
Okay.
time.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
My eyes go black.
Everybody on mute. Everybody on audio mute.
Okay.
Okay, we're cool.
Yeah. All right. So the rest of the party sees your eyes go black, and as soon as you touch the statue, you suddenly find yourself blinding white light, trying to adjust from the darkness of the cavern that you were just in. As your eyes adjust, your mind and your body also adjusts. Where you are seems normal. It seems like this is where you belong. You look around and you see yourself surrounded by desert, hills, dunes, kind of flowing endlessly off in the distance towards the horizon. As your eyes adjust further, you're kind of able to make out minute shapes. Off in the distance, you see what looks like, are those Suma? No, wait, those must be Astra, you think to yourself. What? But you can't quite make it out. It looks somewhere between Suma and Astra. Not how you would like to see your Astra people, though. These Suma or Astra, you see that they're chained, being led single file, line by line, arms tied, chained to those behind them, legs bound as they trudge through the desert, heading in the opposite direction of you, off towards the horizon. Standing alongside them, marching with them, looks like you can't quite make them out. It's a race you're not familiar with. Completely unfamiliar to you. Your eyes scan the horizon, looking at the multitude of this Astra Sumer race being led in these caravans. It's countless. It spreads almost the entire length of your periphery. You draw your eyes closer and you look around where you are. You're standing atop this sand dune. To your right, you're standing next to some Astra or Suma people, similar to who you see kind of being led away. Except the people you're standing with, they're not chained and they're not bound. They are looking out at the desert with you. They seem to have like a sense of pride or joy on their faces at the sight of these other people being led away in chains. Off in the distance, you look back towards the horizon, and you notice what you didn't notice before. You see a dark red sun casting long shadows from the bodies on the sands below, slowly setting below the horizon. It's remarkably striking. It's almost blood red. And suddenly you come out of it, and you're back in the caverns.
Can you guys hear okay?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
So what was that like for us?
So you were standing there, and you saw Valsina pull out a piece of parchment and Triscana, and push the parchment up against the inscription there to take an etching of it. As soon as she touched the tower or the statue, her eyes immediately went pitch black, and for maybe about 15 seconds, she was just not responsive. Now she's popped back out, and her eyes are normal again.
What was that? Are you okay?
Just
That was
like get
horrifying.
possessed there for a second.
Eyes got
I
all.
was, I was
Are
like
you-
waving my hand,
hello?
and you were just like,
Are you there?
I had a vision.
Good.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
drop my
oh.
parchment and I step away from the statue.
like a bad kind of vision, or
Yes.
Sisters of Fate.
oh, great.
I need a minute. No, I just drop what
Should
I'm
we-
holding.
Not touch the statue then.
I mean, knowledge is a boon. But I didn't... that's a lot.
Okay.
I should know.
This is a dark place.
Are we not safe?
I want to look up at the statue. This is an elven statue I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did it look familiar to anything I just saw? Like, was that figure present?
So this is the statue of an elf. It doesn't look anything like what you saw in your vision.
Can you tell me one more time what the words said, like on the plaque right in front of us, that we can understand?
Mm-hmm. And I will say that as you look up at the statue, you notice atop the statue's head is sitting a crown that seems to have been stripped of whatever ornaments may have, beautified it in the first place. The words that were on the inscription were King Arindria al-Oti, who bound our people together and delivered us from darkness, in whom resides all knowledge.
Oh,
No, they didn't bind them together literally. I mean, maybe some of them, but
It sounds like you burnt them at the stake or something.
it's a bit extreme. But
Did any of the gems we picked up look like they may perhaps fit in the crown, stripped of all its things?
It looks like they might fit. You could try.
Is
You
it
gotta
okay if I...
touch it?
it's a bit
no. He wasn't a king. He was a dark god. He was the one that the Suma follow. This is not a place for me.
You can find a way to leave then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want my pickaxe?
Oh yeah, we could just wreck this thing.
I don't think we should touch it again.
Maybe we should walk around it.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Suma practice dark magics. Familiar with? As long as you know stories.
They didn't know any magic. That's what separated us from them. We had the magic and they had the bloodshed. You know? We can hold our own in a fight, but we're not a particularly strong people. You know, we're agile, but they were the ones that knew how to win wars.
You know, whatever happened seemed to have been something arcane.
It was literal, to answer your question. They were literally bound.
Oh, let's get out of here
Yes,
then?
please. Yes, let's.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let me clarify one thing. So Triskana, go and do a history check for me.
Holy shit. I foretold that I was going to roll a 12 on that for 18. I'm going to burn one of my important rolls for the day.
So we'll just reverse that a little bit. You recognize the last name on that inscription, Aloti. But the first name is different. You don't necessarily know that this is your god. Has the same last name or the same surname, but the first name was definitely different. This says King Arindria versus the evil god of the Astra people is it's a different first name.
That's so strange. I wonder which came first. Did he fashion himself after the storm goddess? Was it by marriage?
Can we ballpark how old this statue looks, like by how weathered it is?
Old.
I would say it still just looks really old. You
Okay.
can't put a date on it, or it's at least centuries old.
I can try to cast a spell to see if I can understand these other pieces of writing here.
Oh,
I should.
Yes, but don't
that.
touch it though.
Let me make sure. I don't think I have to touch it.
Yeah, it's a
You
dope
must
song.
be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Maybe you'll get a cool whisper too. I survived. Go for it.
All right. Fuck. Okay. I cast comprehend languages.
Well, he touched it. He didn't listen. He touched it.
Well,
Okay.
And then I try to read the other inscriptions that are around the pillar.
As you touch the statue, eyes go black. Everybody sees Everyone sees your eyes go black, and I will need everyone to put themselves on audio mute. Just give a thumbs up when you do.
Sorry. All right.
All right. Everyone
This
good?
is an opportunity to get some water.
No one hears? Holfi, as soon as you touch the statue, you feel a sudden surge of cold wash over you. You immediately find yourself, your form feels completely different. You take a moment to adjust. This feels abnormal, but as soon as you feel like this isn't right, suddenly it does feel right, and suddenly you feel like you belong wherever it is that you are. Your form feels, am I crawling on the ground? And you look down and you notice that your hands and your feet are actually paws. And you look down at your abdomen and down towards your body, and then you look over to the right and you see a fox standing next to you. I must be a fox. I am a fox. Not must be, I am a fox. In that moment, the fox to the right of you, you notice this fox is carrying a piece of parchment rolled up and with a little tie in its mouth. And suddenly it darts forward and keeps kind of running. And you just run next to this other fox, keeping pace with it. The wind around you kind of blowing, just sending your fur waving in the wind. The grass and the bushes and the trees kind of lapping at you as you speed through them. The forest is your home. You're comfortable here. This is where you've always belonged. You're also friends with those taller people. You're used as messengers occasionally, and this is your friend next to you. And as you're making your way through the forest, suddenly out of your right ear, you hear a and an arrow comes screeching through the air, impales your fox friend to the right as your fox friend's legs give out and just chin scrapes along the ground as your fox friend comes to a screeching halt. Blood streaming from its mouth, collapses in a pool of its own blood. You feel panicky. You feel sad. This was a member of your family, your fox family. You look down at the pool of blood, and you notice that the pool of blood seems to be slowly making a circle, developing into a orange circle, then bright red and blood orange. Everything around it kind of dissipates, becomes black, and it almost looks like a blood orange or blood red sun, slowly now setting in the distance. And suddenly you wake up. You come back to it in the caverns.
Wait, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Are you okay?
What did you learn?
You guys keep doing that. Ugh.
Knowledge is a boon, but a curse.
I look at my hands, make sure I kind of get a sense back of where I am. In the course of that, was I able to read the actual inscription? Sorry.
So
It was
I
intense.
will say, as soon as you came to, you still had your hands on there. You pulled them away pretty quickly, but you were able to make out a little bit of the ancient transcript that is on there. And what you're able to discern is some of it has to do with this elven king who brought knowledge to the elves who lived on this island and brought them closer to the ancient people that inhabited this island long before them. That's what you're able to glean from the inscriptions.
Do you agree this is a dark place?
Place with a
Yes.
history. strange connection to things I don't quite understand.
I thought I knew the history of my people, but there's so much I don't understand about our cousins and where it all began. I have so much more to learn.
You spend a few years apart from a family member, you can grow distant and not realize how much their life has changed and how much yours has. Your people in the Sumo have been apart for generations, long enough to where you feel like it's a myth to you.
Right.
It's no wonder there are things we don't understand about them. I do think we should find a way out of here. I don't think there's anything left on this island for us.
So should we not touch the statue, or
Every person that comes out must just like show.
I'm just gonna do it one at a time, so we have to do this every time.
oh yeah,
I would never tell any of you to not get more knowledge, but sometimes these things have a way of coming with you in a way you don't expect.
Out of character, I'll say that Mike's storytelling is holy shit, really on point. So, but
It's worth it.
in character, I'd probably say don't touch the damn thing.
I really want to touch it, but I already have like a parasite growing inside of me, so maybe I should stick with like one curse at a time, you know?
What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
It could take away your parasite.
I don't
What do you guys think?
so.
No.
I
Hope
think
you
we
lost
should
some
get the
weight.
hell out of here.
I mean, Holfi, did it give you the same vision as me? The people, the binds, the red sun?
So, Red Sun.
Yes.
Yes.
Like ancient times. Unless it's the future, I'm not sure, but it felt ancient.
Blood red.
Yes.
There
And
is love.
huge.
Did we? Is there a red sun? The other dream. The dream from the boat. The town. The ruined town. Is the blood red sun or moon? It's been so long.
I
It's
don't
hard enough
remember.
to dream when you wake up.
Mike, do we remember that?
Yes, there was.
Fuck.
Dope.
All right.
Zeph, touch it. We need to know more.
Do
Maybe let's get out of here, or just keep walking.
you think this Alhoti character, this Orangia, King Orangia, do you think there could be a relation between that and the thing that was in the bag that we let loose?
It's possible. It's the name. It's the name I'm getting hung up on. The Uila Oti is the goddess, like the dark storm goddess that the Sumo worship. Like they pay their homage by spilling blood and water. I've never heard Oti on a man. It's strange.
Feminine name?
Is it?
No. There's no in Astra race. There's no differentiation between, male or female or non-binary when it comes to names.
Everyone's named Jamie and Elliot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or like in Spanish, table is masculine.
Yeah.
Okay, so could be any number of things. I think maybe if we find a sumo, we could ask him, "Hey, what do you know about this name?"
There's-
We have to find ourselves in a position to have small talk with a sumo.
I know it's dangerous, but I'm drawn to it. I need to know more. I feel like we should run fast, and at the same time, there's so much knowledge at our fingertips that I've never had access to before. I don't know what to do.
Could be a burden as well.
And whatever we touch in here could come with us, but we would
It's
know
fine.
so much more.
You know that we can get out of here. Something else isn't watching us.
Oh, there's always people watching you.
Well, people are always watching you. Thank you.
No, you too.
Oh, great.
Always?
Always.
Well, not here.
Like
I-
when we're
no.
sleeping?
On the privy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I'm just like some. I don't know.
They got nothing better to do.
Really.
Oh. I certainly don't want to die.
What if we all touched at the same time?
Oh. Ooh.
What if we don't?
What if, and hear me out, what if we do?
Hey, Zeph.
I feel like we're making a death pact.
No. Sometimes to understand the darkness, you have to intake just a bit of it. Just a bit.
Or we could always just walk forward and, see what happens.
I'm gonna try to take the little crown off.
Bump.
Yeah.
The music said yes. Just saying,
Can't get the music one.
Or the music indicated that we'll all die if I do that.
All right, what are you guys doing?
I'll touch it if everyone else touches it.
Okay.
I'll touch it if everyone else touches
Okay.
it.
I go and take Valsine and Zeph's hands and start walking closer to it.
Alright. We're not trying to peer pressure you into this. Just,
But out of character, you're gonna be the only one that has to leave the room.
Yeah.
It's the definition of peer pressure. As I just grab a hand that's closest to me, I don't even know whose it is.
Okay.
It's slimy.
It's not slimy.
Clammy.
So who's touching the statue? Who's not touching the statue? I should say.
We all said we were.
You're all. So you all
Oh.
kind of hold hands in one hand. I guess how would you do that? I don't know.
We're
You all-
linking thumbs.
I love
linking thumbs. Yeah.
Circle.
We sticker the fork into the light socket together.
Alright,
Yeah.
Mhm,
we're all
mhm.
muttering this is the stupidest
Okay.
thing
Oh
ever
god.
done.
Yep.
Yeah, a bunch of idiots. touching
In
the
and out, real quick. 2-minute adventure. Here we go.
As soon as you all touch it, everyone's eyes go black, and you feel that brief cold wash over you as you find yourself jolted to. It's taking a hard moment for you to adjust. You find yourself in a mountain range, standing amongst each other, the five of you,
We can see each other.
looking out over. It's not snowy, it's not cold up here. Kind of dead, desolate edge of mountain range, right? Just kind of rocks strewn everywhere. Maybe, small tufts of grass growing out of the ground. You notice you're having an immediate kind of hard time breathing. It seems like you're fairly high up. The elevation here must be significant. You look around, and the five of you are all kind of decked out with your typical adventuring gear, bags, and the like. When all of a sudden, out of the mountainside starts to rumble, and an explosion of rock out of the mountainside, cascading out, hitting another, flying out, hitting the side of another mountain. Out of this hole in the mountain, you see a large clawed hand, long bony fingers, skin wrapped tight around the fingers, knuckles abnormally large, pop out of this hole and grab onto the rock. And then another hand pops out, grabs onto the rock, kind of crinkly, bony hands pulling itself up. Pulling and pulling. As the head emerges, atop this head, you see a crown. Similar to the crown you saw atop the statue that you're standing in front of in the cavern. This creature pulls itself out of this hole in the side of the mountain and pushes itself up. Straightens itself, cracks its back, tries to straighten its arched back as much as possible, turns its head right, looks at you, charges at you, and you all wake up. You're back in front of the statue.
Fuck. I thought that was gonna end in rolling for initiative.
It was
So
about
sad. Is that like the visions you guys had?
Is that what you saw?
No,
Because that seemed pretty bad, man.
there was no red sun. This may have been now.
Oh God.
Did we awaken something?
Better, we're going to.
A vision?
That is
So
the
we
risk.
might as well steal its crown, right?
Let's not touch the crown. Let's not put anything near the crown.
I
Fine.
pull my hands away from it.
Just like back away. I think it's time to not touch the statue.
People have already tried to destroy the crown, right? They've or at least damaged it, taking away bits and pieces, it looks like.
Does anyone else miss feeling safe?
Forgotten what that feels like.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it felt like to be happy and safe.
Right, we were sleeping,
It's
bed,
been a hot second.
slept through.
That was just
That was safe.
That was comfortable. That wasn't safe or
That's
happy.
true. After all, we did kill a man in the war. He slept in.
What do we do? We need to get out of here. Can we keep going this direction? Is there, or is it just like we're in a big room and have to go back the way we came?
You're in a big room. You could kind of circle the room, see where else you can go. If you want to go back the way you came, you can. There was a path you didn't go down, but it's your choice. You do see that the room still expands in front of you.
That was really reckless, guys. We didn't even have a chaperone.
Do we need a chaperone?
I mean, you know, we're all going to be out like that with the black-eyed thing.
Oh yeah, there should have been an adult in the room. You're absolutely right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
A lookout? Are you a lookout? Or
Ooh.
everyone's just confused?
Try
That was just, lapse in judgment. We'll learn from this. We'll do better next time, okay?
Yeah.
God, I hope Squeakums is okay. Was Squeakums involved in that?
Oh God, it's Squeakums, the adult in the room.
Squeakums' eyes just go black.
Oh God. Everyone needs to deafen while Mike tells just the stream what Squeakums saw.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. He didn't touch the statue. I'm trying to reassure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an improv campaign, so I'm just saying.
Signals to you that he has seen the end times.
Squeakums has seen so much more than any mouse should.
I have become cheese.
Do I know if he's seen anything that he can't go back?
Let's look around this room, make sure we haven't missed anything, and then go back out of here. Maybe the tunnel is out. I don't know.
He's just with shaky paw. He just draws a cigarette. Sorry.
Never believe.
Triskana will stay at the base of the statue, just kind of like staring up at it, and then kind of absently do the motions to start ritually casting Detect Magic. But she can't stop staring at the face.
Yeah. You get a strong sense of necrotic magic emanating from all around you. Not just in the statue, but also in the statue.
Right.
As you cast this, the light that emanates from your hands as you cast the spell casts a weird shadow over the face of the statue and gives it that sort of like pitted eyes, dark eye sockets, dark nose bridge.
You're right. We shouldn't be here.
Some knowledge should maybe stay forgotten.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I know that I really didn't want to know at all.
We may have awoken something.
Don't say that. Oh, you're probably right.
Did you see its hands?
Oh my
It's
God,
like-
yeah.
I
The
feel like
arthritis.
I feel like I've been a bit ripped off, honestly. You're talking about all this fantastic knowledge. I just have a new thing to be scared of when I go to sleep.
Wasn't
Okay,
that-
that's a great point. So now, do you think if one of us touches it alone, we'll get more magical knowledge, or if we touch it one more time, the thing will come murder us?
I don't think any of us should touch it.
I think
I'm
we
not
need.
touching it.
Do you think
Let's
there is a
investigate-
possibility of more magical knowledge?
Stop touching the statue. Just stop touching. Stop.
I'm not touching it. I'm just saying, do you think there is a possibility to get more magical knowledge?
Yeah, but the thing will probably kill us in the process, right?
We could go find that library. It might be safer.
Oh,
Triskana reaches out to
Yeah.
the statue again.
No! Grab her arm.
You grab my own.
We need to get out of here.
Okay.
Through
Alright, I'm gonna do a once round the room.
Yes.
know. and then we'll go back the other way, away from the ancient.
Unless there's another way out of here, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. The other way had gemstones.
There was another tunnel we didn't go down before we came to this room.
Just want to circle the room a little bit, going counterclockwise.
Yep.
Okay.
we're kinda doing that.
You're
go
all kind of
clockwise
staying
then.
together,
Nope.
Triscana with the light.
Nope, Triscana's gonna let them do their thing, and she's just keeps staring at the statue.
She's gonna stay there. So you're the only one with light. How do you guys see?
I've got
I'll
Dark
cast
vision.
produce flame.
You have dark vision, Zeph?
Yes.
Okay.
The gnomes do.
So, cool. So Zeph, you lead the way, and you're going Holfi said, you're going in a counterclockwise direction. You make your way around this room, kind of trying to see as best you can. As you kind of pass about 9 o'clock here, you notice there's another corridor that leads off to your left. Excuse me. You continue to make your way around. It'll tell me if you stop at any point. Continue to make your way around. At 12 o'clock, pretty standard cavern material here. More path to walk down. You make your way further, passing 1 and 2 o'clock, getting around to 3 o'clock. At about 3 o'clock, you notice there's actually another path that leads down another corridor. So at this point, you have several directions you could go. You're back to where Triscana is. There's the path you didn't go down when you initially came here. There's a path to the left and a path to the right.
Do any of them go up or down?
The terrain, as you were walking through it, you notice it looked all pretty flat.
I don't know why I'm so bent on this.
That's okay.
Maybe I'm looking for lava tunnels. I don't know.
Any drafts or anything like that?
You did not get a sense of any drafts, no. Pretty stagnant air.
Probably in just like a pocket cave underground that's just enclosed.
We're all gonna die of lack of oxygen soon anyway. That's why we're having these visions.
Yeah.
Houseplants. That's all they need. It's just houseplants.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I'm just gonna look at Triscana. Are you still looking at the statue?
Yes.
Are you a junkie for knowledge, or visions?
I don't know what that word means.
Do you strive to see visions, even if it means at cost of your life or health?
Probably look offended. The pursuit of knowledge is a noble goal. I mean, it can benefit everyone.
Not if you keep it to yourself and you die finding it.
Fair. Caiopena did say to be careful in this place, not to trust it. So I probably should leave this alone.
I think that's... But I'm keeping an eye on you.
Thank you.
Which way do we go? We can go back the way we came and check out the tunnel.
Is there anything about the way the statue is facing one way or another seem, or what about his posture? Is there anything with that might seem?
His posture is proud, shoulders pulled back. He's looking directly he's looking all clockwise. He's looking about 9 o'clock.
Okay. So my guess would be entrance, or whatever it is that people would be coming into this place, would have wanted to probably come in looking, and they would be looking upon him, right? That's my guess. So it's maybe worthwhile to guess that it would be that way. That, or it could be that he's guarding that over that way from anyone who would come and intrude on the... So really it's a coin toss.
Would he maybe face the entrance?
Maybe.
Or
So
he...
as you enter into the ground from outside, then that's where you would see
It's kind of right. It's kind of weird to walk up into the palace and see your emperor's backside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do we feel? Do we want to explore the obvious reaches of this? There is clearly much larger than we are aware, or do we want to actively try to get out of here?
Could we try both? Like, go away we think is the way out and explore while we're headed that way? Or, I mean, we are closer to this turn, so maybe we should just do that.
Or we could split up the party.
We each go one direction.
Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins, yeah.
Half the party wants to just keep touching this statue forever for the juicy lore. The other half,
That's what it is.
yeah.
Trike likes knowledge. Ashley is a lore addict. That's why I created this character.
There's your D&D tattoo. Lore addict.
Lore addict. You think divination wizards are good at anything? They are not. They are only good at lore.
Story.
Holfula, give me your hand.
What?
Let me see it.
Alright. So I walk over, hold up my hand, some trepidation.
It looks like I pass this phosphorescent light from my fingertips onto yours, and my hand extinguishes, and yours lights up, so you have it now.
This isn't permanent, is it?
Would that be bad? I'm just kidding. It's only for an hour.
Don't wipe your ass with it.
Is it on here now? Is my beard glowing?
Oh, it's on fire.
Alright, so I walk. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. And I, just walk kind of like a little kid with a glow stick, like making little rings of light and everything.
I will now
It's dark-
follow
it's-
Holfie.
It looks dark enough in here to everyone else that as you do that with the light, it leaves kind of like that trail of light, like everyone else's eyes don't adjust too quickly. It's like a little trail. It makes like these circles as you do it.
I write my name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So which way are you guys going? What are you doing?
I'm gonna go peek left first.
I hate that there's so many options.
Yeah.
That's-
That's
We
the
can't play
fun
like
part,
Skyrim.
man.
We can't just like open every barrel and collect all the cabbages.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
All right. So you look down this corridor, and you can see about 20 feet in front of you. It looks like it opens up. This corridor's not as long as the last corridor you went down. It's maybe 15, 20 feet long. Opens up into another cavernous area. Holfie, you make your way forward a little closer. And you kind of see that it opens up, like I said, a little bit more, in front of you. Another kind of wide open cavern. In front of you, you can barely make out something sitting in the ground, protruding in this kind of like hole in the ground.
I'll take a step back from it, cautiously.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Bro.
walk towards it.
Can you? Is that a trap?
I move where Holfie was, and I'll check for traps.
I'm right
Okay.
behind her.
Okay, so you move forward a little bit more, and I'll say at this point you kind of have like a full vantage view of this room. Okay. It's a room kind of surrounded by 4 of those man-made pillars that connect the walls. Is this not? Here we go. One sec. So yeah, kind of it's 4 pillars, kind of each corner of the room. In the center of the room is a what looks like some sort of skull facing up out of the ground, looking up towards the sky, seemingly carved out of the stone in the ground.
Does
Its
it look like-
mouth. Go ahead.
Does it look like the thing that came at us in the dream?
About the same size?
It looks size. The skull in the ground is much bigger. It's not the shape of a human head. It's massively carved into the ground. Its mouth agape, as though screaming out two ominously empty eyes, seeming to stare into a dark oblivion. Around this skull carved into the ground is other human-sized skulls scattering the ground around this larger skull.
Be a graveyard. The scary mask or scared face in the ground.
Basin for offering. Probably would feed blood to it.
I want to get maybe like kind of towards the edge of where it starts to dip and look as closely as I can. Does it look actually carved?
Yes, it looks like it is carved out of the stone in which this hole was dug. Your inspection, you can't, there's no like seams or anything. It doesn't look like it was set in there.
Cool. Okay.
Place.
We can't go through unless we go in the bowl, right?
You would have to climb down into the bowl to do so, to kind of get through this room.
I look at Rowan.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Do it. So, can I check to make sure if there's any traps before we jump into this bowl? If we jump into this bowl?
Sure, yeah, do an investigation check. Are you like, what are you doing? Are you looking around? Are you feeling around? What are you?
Like crouching down, looking, trying to see if there's anything around. Oh, a natural one.
Natural one. Yeah, it looks really safe. This is the safest skull carved into stone in the ground that you've ever seen. There could be nothing could possibly be bad about this. Totally safe.
What do you,
Yes.
What do you think, Rowan? Hop
I
down?
think Holly should go in first.
Oh, perfect. If you say there's no traps here, then I'll just hold my light out and everything and try to walk down.
Yeah, so you step down into this bowl that contains this carved skull stone. Your feet hit the ground below and seems sturdy. You don't feel any different.
And jump around. Just
It seems pretty solid. I think. Just going to try to amble up here over onto the other side, I think. Try and climb up.
Yeah, you make your way towards the north side. You're able to climb up, kind of pulling yourself up a little bit. Some of the rocks kind of falling away beneath you, but it's fine. It's only like 6 feet. You just basically like, pushed yourself up.
That's the thing. Now.
Zeph,
Okay.
do you want to follow?
I guess so.
All right, I
Okay.
will be next after Halsey to climb down and then try and climb back up.
Okay. You step down, same deal. Your feet thunk thunk land solid on the stone skull beneath you, and you climb your way. You amber your way out.
Halsey,
Reach down, help her up.
All right.
Great.
Who else is doing what?
I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
All of you go down.
Sure.
All of you go down, and all of you come up.
hey!
Cool.
You guys were
And as-
scared of a giant ancient skull for nothing.
Oh, Dominus!
And then suddenly, out of the darkness, long do I slumber here, void of sight or sound or drink. All life's pleasures wasted on the living. Naught but the slow drip, drip, drip of water on these barren floors. Bring me that which I seek in hunger, for I grow weary of these confines, lest you meet a fate like countless before you.
Won't
You echoes through the caverns.
Cool. Yeah, that's not good.
Cool.
It could be a pre-recorded message, you know. We might be all right.
We've been trying to contact you about your ship's warranty.
So Rowan,
Still called Magic Mouth. great for pranks. People don't think long term.
I still have detect magic up. Do I detect any kind of transmutation, conjuration for magic mouth, whatever it is?
You're just getting a really strong sense of necrotic magic still.
It
It
is-
emanates from everywhere.
It is not. It's not magic mouth.
That'd be too easy.
What do you think it's hungering for? Do you think it's
Life pleasures.
Well, while you guys are talking, I've got my backpack turned around in front of me, and I'm just pulling out all the bottles of wine that I have in my backpack.
I'll
Oh wait, I still have that handle of Everclear.
We could get in this. We get in this drunk.
alcohol? You think it wants alcohol?
I'll pull out my violin
Life's pleasures.
and start playing a jaunty, happy tune.
Mhm.
Well, it acoustics in here, actually.
They're very nice.
I'll just uncork one.
Hopefully, stop playing the scary sound.
Yeah.
Say something a little happier.
You're making it sound
Tune it.
scary.
I think you're all taking this a bit literal.
What do you think it needs?
Yeah, wait, what?
What?
I don't necessarily have a better idea.
It's strange. These, demonic voices and everything in the stories. They always just they can't ever be bothered to be specific.
It's an ancient tongue.
Started pouring the wine on the ground.
Always is that which I desire. Oh, that's not the way to enjoy the wine. But okay.
So what? We give it some hobbit weed, some munchies.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of wine,
Some magic mushrooms.
some water.
Is this a good spot to
No,
take
see,
a
the
5-minute
water's
break?
where I draw the
Yes.
line.
You tell us,
Is that-
dude.
We
Yeah.
definitely won't meta and figure this out.
Yeah, of course not.
We definitely
Yeah.
won't ask the chat what they think the skull needs.
Mansoor Bear has some opinions. Yeah.
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 MVP tonight. Am I right?
All right, let's take 5 minutes here and we'll come back.
All right. See you guys soon.
All right, thanks everyone. And we're back. Once again, just want to say thanks to Syrinscape for the audio delight this evening. Plenty of water effects if that's what you need. Not saying I need it, but you know. All right, so what are you guys doing?
Do we see water in here? We hear
Uh,
it. Do we see it?
You do not see water. You hear some dripping, but you don't really see water. Yeah.
Didn't he had water and he wants finer things?
Do you guys mind if I try something? Wait, you think he doesn't want water, or you think he just wants nice things?
He has
Water's nice.
but he wants something better. But maybe I'm wrong.
Imagine being this disembodied thing just trapped here, nothing to enjoy.
Maybe he wants a lady friend.
Oh,
That
I'm not gonna give him that.
Or not like, a
Right.
dude friend. I'm not,
All right, so from
would be odd. He didn't mention that.
He just said,
I feel like he would have probably said, "Hey, you, a gnome with,
It's always the nose.
chisel shawl. Zeph, is that your name? Come here, boy.
why
Get
do
in."
why do you gotta make everything so creepy?
No, I'm not trying to make it creepy. I'm just saying he didn't specify what he wanted.
Okay, so from the ledge, I'm going to pour some water out of my canteen and use shape water to kind of arc it away from me and into the skull's mouth and just see what happens.
Okay.
Splash. It just drips down the side of the mouth and into the mouth of this stone skull. You wait a moment. Sound of the water dripping in the distance. The echoing. But nothing happens.
All right, who's up?
Can you control wine? Maybe you could put the wine in his
Yeah.
mouth? Or is it just water?
I might even pull the water out of the wine. I'm not sure. It might just be like grape concentrate left over.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
should
wait,
try
so
that
when you
later.
control water, you purify any water?
Probably not.
We could try that later if we get out of here.
Although no, canonically, I was able to pull just the water out to water their plants on the old ship, and the salt stayed behind. But I don't have purify food and water, so maybe I shouldn't be allowed to do that.
I mean, taking the salt out and actually cleaning the water are two separate things.
It was all Germany water.
Yeah, it can still be real nasty.
Do you want to try moving the wine? Or I could step on the bowl and pour it in, I guess.
Yeah, I extend a hand and try and use shape water on the wine. Does it move?
Doesn't budge. Nope.
Sorry, I haven't learned that one yet.
Well, at least you know it's the
Maybe
good
one day.
water down. Alright, I'll hop down and I'll give the stone face some wine.
I'm on down.
So yeah, you hop down, you pour your wine bottle into the mouth of the stone skull, and
Fucking perfect.
yeah, but nothing happens. Just like with the water, just kind of drips down the side and into the mouth of this stone skull.
I think we're taking this too literally.
What do you think we should do?
Like I said before, I don't have a better answer.
Well, that's not teamwork.
But this seems unlikely that it would be that literal.
Falls around. Maybe he thinks the delicacies in life are just eating creatures and humans and gnomes and stuff. While I back away from the face.
What did he say? He said, give me what I hunger for?
Yeah.
Let's give him some food.
Maybe he wants blood.
I don't
Probably
suppose.
wants knowledge, maybe?
So, do you guys want me to repeat what he said?
Could you?
Yes, please.
You don't have to do the voice again.
I know, yeah. Long do I slumber here, void of sight or sound or drink. All life's pleasures wasted on the living, naught but the slow drip, drip, drip of water on these barren floors. bring me that which I seek and hunger, for I grow weary of these confines, lest you meet a fate like countless before you.
Do you think he seeks knowledge?
He seeks a body.
Oh.
Void of sight and sound, so I hopefully he stops playing the music when he
We
realizes that. Can't hear.
we heard it throughout the entire cavern too. It wasn't confined just this bowl with a skull in it.
You heard what? The voice?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were all in the room with the skull at that point,
Okay.
but it did sound like the voice reverberated through the entire caverns, yes.
Did the voice appear to be coming from the skull?
It seemed to emanate from everywhere.
Before we try something drastic, Valsina, do you want to toss a good berry in its mouth?
You know what? Yeah.
Sight,
These
sound.
little guys are great. I'll summon 10.
Okay.
Give 1 to everyone, and then chuck 1 in for good measure. Yep.
That's 1
Yeah.
HP, right? I can heal
1
from where I bash myself with a bunch of rocks.
Isn't it?
So you throw, a few of these juice berries
just
or whatever?
1.
Just
I
one?
mean, it's a whole meal. It's a whole meal in a single berry. It's
He's a
pretty
big
great.
boy, though.
Yeah. The berry just kind of bounces off the lip of the skull into his mouth. You wait a moment. Nothing.
Another? Ready?
Sure. You hear it plop into whatever wine and water you poured in there. Nothing. Nothing happens.
Hug.
So just toss the rest, or...
Is wait,
I mean, I'd have another if you got one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
wasn't in our dreams before someone wanted? Was it Thalia they wanted?
It was the drowned maiden wanted
Right.
Thalia, but that's yeah.
Right. Right.
Do you think it could be the same spirit?
Well, it's bothered us since we've been on land. Unless we're in a cave underneath the Syrinscape.
That's true.
So you said void of sight, sound.
Taste?
Did you say taste?
Said void of sight or sound or drink.
Drink.
Alright, so no hunger, so no.
Oh,
Nothing
no.
I can see
I'll
here.
just, out in frustration, just yell loudly, "What is it that you hunger for?"
Drip. Drip.
You think if we could, like, write down some knowledge, or tell it some knowledge, or...
Here, tell it your deepest, darkest secret.
Where's the drip coming from?
Do a perception check. As you try to discern, where is that drip coming from? It's getting annoying.
I would also like to look. Is that okay?
Yeah. Are you? So you're. So Matt, you're listening for it?
7.
7.
I'm like, where the hell is that coming from?
It's really echoey. You can't discern where it's coming from based on listening for it. Triskana, you're looking for it?
Yeah, but I got 6, so.
Yeah, and you can only kind of look immediately around you, right, with the light that's emanating from
From
Holfi. Yeah, you don't see anything. Yeah.
Alright, you got old man ears, and you don't even have dark vision, so... What if I try to listen for it? I've got pretty big ears, right? Does the size of ears correlate to hearing? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Okay. I'll try to locate where the drip, drip, drip is coming from.
With your ears? Okay, yeah, going to do a perception check.
15.
15. You kind of shh everyone as you try to get like a better listen.
What?
And it sounds like what's that? What'd you say, Tristan?
I was being shushed.
You're
I'm sorry.
doing it. That was great shush role playing.
I
Yes, I
ruined
got
it.
it. No, that's fine. Valsina, it sounds like is that coming from where we just came from? Or at least in that direction? Yeah. That seems to be the closest sound of it.
Do you think? I wonder, is it dripping like on his head or something?
I'll be very, very annoying after an eternity of being down here. Just drip.
Let's see.
Right.
Okay.
I guess we head back the way we came.
Crawl back through the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, you climb back down,
Yeah, good.
walk over this skull that just spoke to you, climb back up, and you make your way back down the corridor. Just tell me what you guys do.
So can I keep looking around that area? And is there anything else? Like, is there an altar or anything that would seem like a place to put offerings?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by Monsieur Bear's humor. Funny person. What did you say, Rowan?
I was gonna stay where I was and or stay put and check to see if there's anything in the room that could be perceived as like an altar or something for offerings. I don't know.
You look around the room. You don't see anything on the walls. You don't see anything that looks like it would have been for offerings until you're about to give up and you turn back and you look at the skull in the ground. And it does seem interesting to you that the hole they carved for the mouth, the eyes are deep like it as well. Huh. And then you notice on the side, holes where, the ear holes are. Offerings would fit in there.
Do you think we need to put offerings in every single hole? It has like what?
Like all the orifices.
I didn't laugh until Zep laughed.
I was like, we can be mature about this, and I slowly watched everyone lose it.
I want how many holes and how many of us?
It's got like
Tentacles.
it's got like
We're good.
5
We're
holes,
done.
So
Oh god, there's 5 holes, but I swear that's not where this is going.
I
Pleasure.
hate it here.
All right.
Wait, Senor Pickles can have my spot.
10 feet long, just saying.
Oh god.
stand with their hands on our hips, waiting for you guys to stop laughing.
Sorry.
Just kidding.
You should- yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bad sign when Rowan's maturing, guys. Come on.
I know. Rowan's like,
We're gonna die if we don't get this figured out.
yeah.
Do
True.
the
That is true. That's true.
I do the orifice sockets have
The
a
orify?
shape. Do they have
What
a
kind-
shape? Like they're looking for a
No.
specific shape of something. Like a
So assuming, okay, yes, all right. They're just holes. Like literally, that's what they are, is holes. I mean, the 2 eye ones are kind of shaped eye-like. The mouth is again agape, as if screaming up towards the sky above. And there's ears on the side of the stone skull, and there's holes where whatever they're called, ear holes would be. Ear holes.
Ear canal, Michael.
There you go. That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, maybe we put something pretty in the eyes, something that can be perceived as sounding pretty in the ears, and something that can be eaten in the mouth, or something.
Drink.
We already tried the drink in his mouth.
Well, we probably need to do everything.
Do we need to do it at the same time, or is it okay that we put something?
Let's see if it makes any happy sounds when we get one right, because there's a lot of ways to do this wrong.
Yeah.
Well, we already did the drink.
Let's put a gemstone in one of its eyes.
But they're pretty.
Let's just, not one of the really good ones, just one of the cheaper ones.
I take the coral out.
Mhm.
And have it. I'll drop it in one of the eyes. Or wait, am I dropping it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll drop it in one of the eyes.
It falls out of your hand, rolls off your hand into the eye socket of this stone skull, and goes into the eye, and takes a sec, but you hear just an echoey clink as it hits whatever surface is down below in the eye socket.
Oh wait, how far down did it fall? We can't just reach down and pick it up again?
It's an offering.
It's black. Can't really see in there. You could try to look or reach down
It's gone.
to get that gem back.
No.
It's just a gold coin in the other one. That's pretty.
Gold coin in the other one. Okay, sure. What do the humans do? They put copper on their eyes?
Coin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fine. I'll do this one too. Am I gonna just like?
You have all our money.
I don't have all your money.
You have all my money.
Pull a coin out and put it in the other eye.
All right. Yeah. So you drop the gold coin into the other eye as you give a listen. Takes a sec. Ding, ding,
Oh,
ding,
it's down there,
ding, ding. Hits the bottom. Gem in one eye, coin in the other.
I'm going to take a bit of parchment out and write down a melody that I know and put that in the ear.
And as you're doing that, I'm gonna steal your fiddle.
Don't you? That's
Yes.
baby.
No, the whole fiddle.
No, you can't even use an ear hole. It's not big enough for a whole fiddle.
Still trying to steal it.
So you, Holfie, write down a melody on this parchment. You roll it up, and I assume you roll it up and you stuff it into the ear canal
Yeah.
of this stone skull. As Rowan proceeds to try to lift the violin off your back, or whatever it was, fiddle.
Can I at least like passive perception against sleight of hand? At
Is she
least?
trying to? Yeah, do it.
Passive perception. That's right. Beat a 20. No, beat a
Don't
17.
let him do passive perception.
My best.
I have a natural.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wow. Yeah. What was it? A nat 1? Is that what you said against the nat? Against, yeah. So she
Rowan?
tries to lift it, but it's, yeah.
What? I'm just admiring your beautiful instrument.
You've never admired that beautiful instrument.
Well, I am now.
Yeah, why are you admiring it now? Oh, nothing. No, it doesn't have to do with the fact that this thing just threatened us. And you'll try.
I just don't think it's
It's
gonna.
bigger than the hole.
It's not gonna.
It's not going to fit.
Not gonna enjoy paper. It's stuff in its ear.
It's.
I could listen to this all day. Valsina, do you still have that flame?
Oh yeah.
Can you
I
light
do.
Can you light this candle?
Yep. I'll go make a flame and
Okay.
light the candle.
All right. Yeah, I just have like a small travel candle. I'll like very gingerly drop that into an eye socket
Mm-hmm.
and hope it doesn't go out on the way down.
You see the candle fall about 3 feet until it hits what looks like the bottom of this stone skull, before kind of teetering, briefly illuminates the bottom. You do see what looks like maybe some other gold coins, some other gems that have been tossed down there before the candle quickly falls over and extinguishes itself.
Well, looks like other people tried, currency. But why would it hunger for?
Well, we have an ear left that we haven't filled. So maybe we'll fill that one, and if nothing happens, maybe we do all of them at the same time.
Hoppy, why don't you sing into the other ear and see what happens?
I could try. Oh, well, I'm quite offended. You can try if you'd like.
I can't sing.
Okay.
The blackest crow that ever flew would surely turn to white. And I keep singing the song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You
Oh, you
finish the song and you pause for a moment as you wait to any effect. Nothing.
Mm.
No result.
Apparently it wants stuff.
We so stupid.
No, we couldn't solve the puzzle to get into the puzzle. I don't know how we're gonna solve the puzzle to get out of the puzzle.
The best part is we have no reason to think that this is standing between us and the exit. We were just like, a puzzle, let's do it. Like, we could just probably go to the other side of this map and walk out. We don't know.
Threatened us. It could kill us. It sounds like we could die if we don't.
It's just like the
Yes.
calm voice when you walk into a haunted house. Like, fools, you have entered in.
Like, yeah, that's on me.
Holy shit, guys, we need to save ourselves or else we're all gonna die. Yeah, that happened.
Mhm.
We just fucking threw all our coins and at least you have a pretty sapphire still, right?
Yeah, and the jade.
Get some squeakums in there and get everything out.
Squeakums would be a very nice offering to make.
That sounds like a suicide mission.
He's done
Squeakums has been good to us.
Yeah. I would offer to turn into a mouse and go in there, but I'm afraid that like if I take damage, I
As a mouse.
would expand into me again, and yeah, not a good idea.
Have we dropped food, right? We already tried that.
You dropped water and wine.
And good berries.
And good berries.
Oh, and good berries. That's right. Yep.
Okay. And candle and
Those are
honey
good for
and
24 hours. Do I have anything fun in my inventory?
I was just doing the same thing.
Oh, you know what? I could drop a bedroll down there. I'm sure it's not comfy sleeping on the stone here.
Only we just stuffing it through the hole. Which one would that be though? Like your ears or the...
This sounds very.
I mean, wait. If we stuff it in his ears, he won't have to listen to the drip, drip, drip anymore.
very familiar to the other puzzle we did.
That time that we just dropped a bunch of shit down a hole and then it was just like, yeah, it didn't. It's fine.
All you had to do was
Like we don't. You think I'd learn?
You have the Ostrogold coin?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's the exact same puzzle and he just reskinned it and we're still too stupid to figure it out?
It's extremely possible.
Alright,
say we did all at the same time still, but
I'm going through my bag and looking like at all the stuff I have in my pack, and I find a small knife. So I use that to prick my finger and squeeze a drop of blood into it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
On my non-dominant hand. I hate it when people are like, I'm just gonna cut my whole hand that I'm gonna be using for the rest of the year. I'm not doing that.
As your blood drips into the mouth of this skull, you look down and you see the water, the blood, single drop spreads, and the little bit of water that's down in there from the wine and the water that you poured. But then that's it. Nothing else.
That was stupid.
Yeah, I hope you don't get an infection. That would really suck. Do you need another good berry?
Oh, yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, I should have had you roll damage.
I send Mage Hand down there to grab all our shit.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
gonna awaken the fucking beast.
There was other gems down there too, so from other people who have failed before us.
You're a genius.
Yeah.
Big ol'
Yeah.
the mage scoop out this skull sinuses. Like,
Well, how deep is the hole? Because Mage Hand's only like 30 feet, right? So
well, maybe he can't hear because things are stuffed in his ears.
you know, Mike's looking up a stat block right now, right?
Yeah. All right.
He's like, these idiots can't figure this puzzle out. I'll just make them fight something.
Okay. Nice. All right. Seth?
Get
He's
some
like,
good loot.
maybe true love's kiss.
The ghost of bear comes over.
Oh God,
Yeah.
we need a cleric.
So in total, you get the gem back, whatever the gem was that you tossed down there, and 11 gold
Cool.
back.
Girl!
Jeff's still alive?
I'll take the gold as a finder's fee. You can have the gem back.
Alright, well, Rowan, we haven't tried your thing. Do you want to try all our dumb ideas at the same time?
Yeah, so something to eat or drink in the mouth.
Yep, I'll toss a berry in.
But
Well,
hold
not yet.
We'll
Do it
wait.
in-
Well, no, I said I will.
Oh,
Not like I'm going to the second.
I'll
I
do.
will do it eventually.
Zeph, can I just have one of these gold coins?
Sure.
Put that over one eye.
I'll take a gold coin for the other eye, and then for the ear,
Harmony.
I'll sing in one side, you sing in the other.
Oh.
maybe some moss so I don't have to hear Holfie sing anymore.
Brutal.
Harsh.
All right. So you guys do.
1, 2.
Whoa, wait. On go. Never mind.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were... Actually, I don't think we can do more than that.
Yeah, I think that's our 2 free seconds
Yeah.
of copyrighted music.
as you pause for a second listening, is anything happening? Nothing. Nothing.
Let's go find
It
the
was probably
water.
that damn dripper.
Okay. What if I try my idea of clogging its ears so it doesn't have to listen to the drip, drip, drip? You know, it's a long shot, but I want to try one thing.
Go for it.
Sure.
I jam a pillow in one ear and a bedroll in the other.
I love it.
Remove one pillow and one bedroll from your
I
inventory.
mean,
for
I'm
now.
assuming they're not going to go all the way down. They're pretty big, right?
Yeah, they're pretty big. You have to like squeeze them in there. I mean, the ear holes, the ear canals, they're bigger because it's a giant stone skull on the ground. But yeah, you still have to squeeze this bedroll and pillow in there.
I'm just trying to make like really bad earplugs.
Next adventures are going to come across a skull with like a pillow stuffed in one ear.
I mean, I'm gonna take them back. I'm pretty sure. Was this a campaign I stole a really good pillow from someone?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm not using the really good pillow. I'm using the starter pillow that came with my bedroll.
Do you think it wants to look beautiful? Maybe we could
Starter
like
pack
gussy up its face a bit.
A lipstick.
Little
Yeah, put some
rouge.
lipstick and some mascara.
At least it
got
won't be
this.
so scary when it comes to kill us.
When we're like, I remember you.
Things a DM can't prepare for. Number one.
Maybe Zeph can kiss it.
What? This is ridiculous.
How about you kiss that cheek and I'll kiss the other cheek and we'll do it on the same time. You ready? 1,
This is stupid.
1, 2, 3.
The drums at the perfect time. Yeah, nothing happens.
Of
Again,
course nothing happens.
you just kind of put your lips on some stone, seemingly.
Wait a minute.
Can we turn the face? Maybe he's tired of looking in the same direction.
Does it move?
I mean, you can try.
Let's try and rotate it.
Yeah, us with our average strength score of like minus
-1.
0.5.
Can I look around the room to see if I notice anything interesting, or I just want to like look around and find something that, I guess, like anything among the skulls that are around the room that might suggest how they met their fate, anything that suggests some kind of, I don't know, anything about this skull.
So let's do what Rowan and Triscana were doing, and then I'll get to yours, Holfi. Do 2 strength checks for me. See if you can move it.
Are we all doing this? Like we're all trying to move it?
Whoever's trying to move it.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me ruin that with.
11.
Holy shit! Natural 20 for 19.
Damn it. But that's
Let me ruin that with a
a 19 too. 'Cause I haven't
14. Not bad.
I'll tell you that's insane because add a DM character here. This stone skull is part of the ground. It was carved into the ground, so it can't really be moved. But in my head, literally in my head, before you guys made your rolls, I was thinking to myself, what will I do if like 2 or 3 of them both roll natural 20s? No joke. And then you did it, and then you did it. I'm like,
You let us roll for it to know something
but
should
the
happen,
story
right?
is that is a stone skull in the ground. It's carved into the ground, and it doesn't budge, no matter how strong you are.
But now
It's
we know.
insane that you both got nat 20s on that, because that's exactly what I was thinking.
What a waste.
Yeah, yeah.
Would have been cool.
Yeah.
I think we should go try and find the source of the water.
I agree. Let's
Yep.
try and shut it up.
So Holfi,
Oh right.
you are doing a quick search of the room. You kind of make a little circle there, and you said you look around the skulls as well.
Yep.
You do notice kind of scattered amongst the skulls. There's really not much. It's mainly dirt. But as you kind of pick through the dirt around the skulls like a amateur archaeologist, you notice kind of, is that some sort of like ancient jewelry or something? And you're able to kind of pick it out of the ground. It's like little metal pieces that look like elven jewelry, perhaps, from a very long time ago, well rusted, worn in places for sure. But yeah, elven jewelry is what you find. I would say if you want, you can give yourself, kind of 3 elven pieces of jewelry.
They don't happen to be shaped like an eye, an ear, and a mouth, or anything, right?
No, they look just like kind of like a
Jewelry.
jewelry, elven design. Yeah.
Hopefully, do you want to lead the way since you have the lights and see if we can
Sure.
find that water?
Find this damn drip. Drip, drip, drip. Drip, 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 drip. Anyone?
And
So you
gaze.
guys make your way back towards the room with the elven king statue atop the podium. Just tell me what you guys do. Where are you going?
I stare at it somewhat longingly.
I listen for the water. We'll see if I can tell what direction it's dripping from.
Yeah, do a perception check for me.
Can we all do that?
I'll do
since
that
we're all
too.
looking?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone do it. Good.
I'm like, I know it was coming from this general direction.
16.
21.
11.
Triskana got something in her eye and then just starts sneezing.
Oh,
Yeah.
the big ears. The big ears.
Watching Triskana because we're close to the statue.
You're keeping your eye on her as
I was distracted.
yeah, Triskana seems very distracted, as does Rowan as a result. Holfi, you're like, you hear it, but you're a little bit older. Your hearing's just not quite what it used to be. Zeph and Valsina, especially Valsina, you're like, yeah, it's still coming from the east, basically. Not the way from where you came, but 3 o'clock, if this room were a clock.
Coming from over here. Let's keep going.
Yep.
Leave this thing. Will it trigger some kind of, bad thing?
We're trying to help it.
I can stay.
You will not stay.
Let's not split the party.
Okay.
Okay. So Zeph and everyone, I guess, you all make your way around the room, around to the back side, to the bum side of the statue. Zeph, in front of you, you see another corridor about as short as the one you were just previously in. Leads to what looks like some sort of fissure in the ground. The sound of the dripping water seems to be very close to you, coming from directly in front of you, and you're just barely able to make out a few hints of water dripping down from above into this fissure in the ground.
We stop this up with something?
Valsina, do you have any kind of shape earth or stone?
Not currently. I have Thunder Wave.
That
I don't-
is the.
Yeah, that's.
Keep that in your back pocket, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If we step inside and if Holtby holds the light up, can we see exactly where the water's coming from?
Yeah, so you look up, you don't see the ceiling. It looks like the distance at which there is a ceiling must be well beyond your light source can reach. But what you do see appear out of the darkness is the occasional drip of water dripping down into this fissure. And what you do notice is the water looks like it's glowing a faint aqua blue. Not just like water, but it's like a glow to it.
Unsettling.
He wants this water.
Is the glowing water within 30 feet?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to
When
use,
it's falling into the fissure, it is. Yep.
I'm gonna try and use shape water to just catch a couple drops and kind of levitate them into my hand until I have a little ball. Do they respond to shape water?
They do. Yep.
Yeah, I'll just
As you. Mhm.
yeah, I'll just stand there a bit and try and accumulate a baseball-sized glob of this dripping water.
Yep. It's going to take a while. You'll be standing there for a while because it's only one drip.
Maybe a
Every few
mandarin orange,
seconds.
or maybe a grape.
Maybe a grape. Okay. Yeah. So you take a few minutes. I'd say, even for amount of drips here, it takes 3 minutes, and you're able to gather a grape-sized ball of glowing blue water into your hand.
Good berry.
Detect magic on that?
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a few to cast detect magic. Is there anything special about this water?
Necrotic. It is definitely emanating water.
Yeah.
And you're kind of glad you're not touching it right now.
Yeah. I just let it keep hovering as though I have something toxic. Should we try and feed it to the friend?
I mean, you said
Might as well.
you said that was necrotic too, right?
Yes.
So maybe that is what it wants.
Maybe.
I think it wants the dripping to stop. We can certainly try this. I doubt it would hurt, but
Could you freeze that water?
Yeah.
No, the drip. Could
Oh.
you freeze the drip so it doesn't?
No, it has to be within 30 feet of me. I can't reach up there.
How high is it?
We can't see
You-
the ceiling. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's high enough that you can't see it.
I can freeze this.
Maybe we could just put a bedroll here, then the water just drips on the bedroll, and then that is the sound.
Well, for today, yeah, but for eternity it would start again.
Yeah, but we'll be long gone. Hopefully.
we could be long gone in the other sense as well.
Can we move forward and see what else is in here?
Yeah. So just show me where you go.
Like here, I'm just assuming Holfie's light is close enough to me to do it.
Yep. Okay, yeah, so hopefully you're following Triscana as you make your way towards the edge of the fissure. And what you see here is another corridor that kind of leads off to the northwest as well. And then it looks like both to the northeast and the southeast, looks like this kind of wraps around
Oh, God.
couple more directions. Yeah. So, Triscana, you are the first to kind of approach the edge of this fissure to see what is kind of around all these different directions. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Sure. 16.
Okay. You notice out of the corner of your eye a kind of rope-like appendage sweep out from one of the stalactites hanging from the ceiling and
Oh, God.
swipe at you.
I
And you have a moment where you yep, go ahead.
Yep, I duck. And since Holfie's near me, I grab him and, like, pull him down too.
It just sweeps over your head and you duck, and everybody else, you all duck as well as you see this two stalactites hanging from the ceiling move and their appendages sweep towards you. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah, you do!
Kick our ass.
Seth, is this one of yours?
Natural one again.
Oh God! Get him out of the way.
I feel like I'm not able to roll.
Oh shit! Cool.
All right, everyone just tell me what you get.
21.
Okay.
15.
12.
Okay. 12. Who
Also
else?
12.
Also a 12. Okay. And Rowan, what did you say? Did I
We
hear
hear
you?
your own.
Did we lose you guys? It's not picking
Yeah,
you up. Are you on mute? Did you mute yourselves?
They're not speaking.
I got it.
She's just
Still not.
hiding out.
Yeah, it's still not picking you up.
6 or 15.
I got a 6.
A 6. Okay. Thanks. All right. Rowan 6. And all right. Cool. So I will pause here for a sec. Who's good to keep going, or did anybody want to stop for the evening? Just want to be cognizant of other people's schedules. I'm fine to keep going, but I'll just leave it up to you guys.
I hate to be a killjoy. I mean, if we're going to be in battle for 45 minutes, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. If we're going to be, You know, if this is a
Mhm.
20-minute thing, okay. But if it's going to be a long, and I don't want you to give anything away, so it's
Yeah.
hard to say, but
Well, honestly, in D&D, nothing's ever a 20-minute thing.
I know.
So yeah. No, that's cool. I'd say maybe this is a good spot to pause because
I'm sorry, guys.
no, it's totally fine. I get everybody's got
Yeah, it's like
schedules,
I
so,
can stay
yeah.
awake. I should not. It is a terrible decision for me to stay
Yes.
awake another 45 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
will regret it tomorrow.
Now I'll have
But
to
I
have
want
a
to.
metagame how
But I
to
will.
beat this giant skull. So
So I will say before the session ends, what you guys see is these stalactites moving on the ceiling as they're turning and kind of looking at you. These kind of weird bulbous eyes, and what you see is this. There.
Oh, well.
no, we don't. No, we
Yep.
don't.
2 of them.
No, we
Mouths open, just sharp teeth,
Oof.
fiddle between it as the tendrils lash out at you.
That's so scary. It's like
And
Senor
that's-
Tickles on steroids.
Yeah, that's where we'll pick up next time. Yeah.
Nice.
My first like
Oh.
that kind of looks like Senior. Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike, this
Cool.
was awesome. Thank you.
Good.
So
Glad you
much
like it. Yeah.
fun.
Looking forward to the next session for sure. That was
yeah.
fun. Thanks. All right. Everybody watching, thank you for watching.
So much.
All the
thank you.
MVPs, but especially Mansour Bear tonight.
Yeah.
Always,
You're the best, man.
yeah. Cool. All right.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Love you guys.
See ya.
Okay.
Good night.
7 people.